Ralphie here at Kiwi Radio. Now, before I start, just a quick heads up. This talks about emotional vulnerability and mental health themes. Nothing graphic, but if that's heavy for you today, it's okay to step away and just come back later. Music has always been emotional. That's why we connect to it. But lately, it feels like emotion isn't just in the song anymore. It's part of how the music gets shared. And sometimes it's hard to tell what's really vulnerability and what's just really effective marketing. I'm not here to name names today. I'm not here to drag anyone. I just want to talk honestly about something that's becoming more common in music right now. Artists are being asked to be a lot. Make great music, show up online constantly, be open but polished, be vulnerable but still in control. And the internet rewards emotion. The more intense the story, the more engagement it gets, the more people feel pulled into it. So emotional storytelling has naturally become part of how music is being promoted. The tricky part is when that storytelling starts to blur into something else. Before running a radio station, I worked in mental health. So when I see an artist posting something that sounds distressed, asking the audience for advice, reassurance, or guidance, my first reaction isn't to think about promotion, it's to check in. Because in mental health work, that kind of reaching out can sometimes be a sign that someone is struggling and doesn't feel supported offline. So my response in that moment came from care and not suspicion. Later on, I realized that what I read as vulnerability wasn't intended that way. From the artist's point of view, it was part of how they were introducing a new release. I'm not sharing private conversations, and I'm not exposing anyone today. I'm sharing this because it shows how easily emotional language can land differently depending on who's listening. And that gap between intention and impact is where things get complicated. Most of us still assume that when someone sounds vulnerable, they're being real. That's not naive, it's human. But when emotional framing is used to drive engagement, it can quietly change how trust works. It can pull other people into the story, former partners, friends, family, who didn't agree to be part of a public conversation and can't control how they're being perceived. Once that happens, there's no easy way to undo it. Running a radio station puts me right in the middle of this because when I share something emotionally loaded, I'm not just sharing a song, I'm amplifying a narrative, I'm directing attention, I'm helping shape how a story travels, and sometimes that attention can turn into unwanted pressure, speculation, or harm, even when that wasn't the goal. That's something I have to take seriously. So I try to be careful, not because emotion is a problem, not because artists shouldn't tell personal stories, but because vulnerability, real or perceived, has weight. And when something carries weight, how it's used matters, especially in a space built on connection. Music should still make you feel things, but it's okay to pause and ask, why am I being invited into this story? Who benefits from it? And who else might be affected? Being thoughtful doesn't mean being cynical, it just means choosing care over noise. And sometimes the most respectful choice is not amplifying everything, even when it's trending. Ralphie at Kiwi Radio.